This video discusses the process of setting up Identity Guardian using SureMDM by 42Gears. In this example, Identity Guardian has already been added to the App Store, as shown here. Now we'll proceed to create a profile for Identity Guardian. Add a new profile and enter the profile name. Select Application Policy. Configure the policy. Add the application. Select SureMDM App Store for the source. Select Identity Guardian for the app. Select the options to install silently and launch the app after install. Launching the app after install is a required step. Next, set the configurations for Identity Guardian. Select the appropriate application mode. In this case, the device is being configured for a personally assigned device. Select or enter the rest of the configurations based on your requirements, including enrollment configuration and authentication configuration. In this case, the user is permitted to opt out of facial authentication. Here, we set the corporate PIN for the user to enter during enrollment. In this example, for verification setup 1, the comparison source is set to device storage, since this is for a personally assigned device. Here, primary authentication is set to passcode, secondary authentication is set to none, and the fallback is set to admin bypass passcode. Next, proceed with setting the lock screen event options. Select the verification setup to be triggered for each event. Since admin bypass passcode is set as a fallback authentication, configure the related settings for the passcode. If facial authentication or SSO are selected as authentication methods, set the desired options in their corresponding sections. In this example, neither were selected, so proceed to click Done to complete the configurations. Add the configuration and then save the profile. The new profile is successfully created. The next step is to apply the profile to the device. In the home screen, select the device, which you see highlighted here, and click Apply. Select the profile created and click Apply. The logs indicate that the profile has been applied to the device. On the device, Identity Guardian launches into the enrollment screen. As the user goes through device enrollment, they are prompted to enter the corporate PIN code, which was set during configuration. The user then enters their information prompted and sets their passcode. The user has the option to enter their face for facial recognition if they agree to the terms and conditions. In this case, the user was permitted to opt out, so this step can be skipped. After completing the enrollment process, the authentication screen is presented. In this case, the passcode was set as the primary authentication method. The user enters their passcode, which they set during the enrollment process, to gain access to the device. Now, if the user locks the device, they are prompted to authenticate to the device to gain access by entering their passcode. This concludes this video. Thank you for watching.